I don't know. There has to be a maybe not the majority, I don't know, but a significant group number of these the homosexual crowd that's like, this is how we're getting our cause through. Mm-hmm. I mean, they respect religious liberty. I mean, the guy doesn't believe in our lifestyle. What's wrong with that? We're going to punish him?
All of this, from the cake baker to the wedding florist to the sex education standards, is because they come in, this sort of progressive left that's anti-family, waging war on children, waging war on families, on marriage and everything. They kind of come in under this guise and this notion of like, look, we just want to be able to live our lives. We want to be able to love who we want to love. And they've won pretty much every victory now. Gay marriage has been legal in the U.S. since 2015. In some states, a lot longer than that. Like, they've won every victory. There are no more victories to win, and yet their consciences pursue them. And whether that's with the homosexual agenda or abortion, it's no longer enough for it to just be allowed, but because their consciences pursue them, now it must be celebrated. And to any last opportunity there is for their conscience to be telling them, you know what, this lifestyle isn't right, they're going to blame you, they're going to blame me, they're going to blame you listening and watching this podcast right now, because if we would only celebrate them, then they wouldn't feel guilty about these things that they're doing.
And if you're unreasonable, then nothing what we say matters, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're reasonable, you know that the Old Testament, and you know that the Bible says that homosexual acts are a sin. So that's not really a profound thing. That's a very common belief for people who believe in the Bible, that it's a sin against God. It doesn't mean you're horrible. I know we're not allowed to love the sinner and hate the sin anymore, but I think there has to be a segment. I don't know this. Maybe I'm just being totally naive, but there has to be a significant amount of homosexual people that are like, I understand Christians that don't agree with our lifestyle. I mean, they read the Bible. I don't interpret it that way, but they do. And the Bible teaches against these acts. We celebrate these acts. We, think they're the greatest ever and they're our identity, and they're against that. That doesn't mean we torture those people for following their religious beliefs. And so I think that it definitely ties in. That definitely ties in. Because there has not been a more militant movement in the last 25 years.
Who are they trying to convince?
The homosexuals. They have, and look, we've looked at how they do it. I don't agree with it. I think it's awful, and I think it's shameful. I think it has to be forced, honestly. They rejected gay marriage twice in California when it was a referendum. In 2008, Obama was against gay marriage. I mean, I think they're bullies, honestly, and they pushed a lot of this stuff through. And the Baker guy is perfect sacrificial lamb, example number one. But I just think that when you get into sexualizing children and pushing all this stuff on them, it's forced, and it has to be.